So it's just like so much more digestible when it's a 15-minute video instead of an hour long. As why we have, decided to question these hour-long episodes we're doing and see like where our vibes are at. 'Cause that's kind of the two sides that Gary V has been doing.
Yeah, we're our own professor right now. We're making the syllabus. So we're just trying to test out different assignments,
I'm a big fan of lowercase writing.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of like, I think the English language is quite interesting. It's like the weirdest. Like you took the SATs, you took the ACTs. Also, shout out to the kids right now that like low key like don't have to completely stress out about the SATs because one, they were canceled in person, and two, they're online now. Three, I hope the test would become somehow more easier for the amount of universities that are going to no longer take SATs and ACTs or make them optional is going to rise through the roof, especially this. So if you take SATs or ACTs, you realize how fucking weird the English language is. And like punctuation, tenses, they're so wavy and trippy, and you're like, yo, this is too technical.
You're taking the SAT, I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
I know. I had a tutor, and I told him, I was like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out. I can't do this homework. Like, what the fuck is this language that I'm learning? And he was just like, yeah, like, it's a really fucked up language. And I was like, yeah, it is.
Like, bro, why are you introducing me this junior year of the high school? That's the weirdest part.
I know, right? That's the weirdest part. You're like, what the fuck? And then that's the issue. When you learn a new language, they usually start with that. My 8 years of French schooling was so like, yo, like imperfect tense, like pretense, like I'm like, yo, like no one speaks in that language. Like that's not how you learn languages. You need to hear them, you need to speak them, and then you can go. I guess that makes sense. We learn them once we learn the language, but like that, like when you were speaking about like lowercase letters, like in poetry, like you don't have to use punctuation at all. Like just be like free form. I love that. I love free form poetry because it's like no punctuation, no capitals, like spaces everywhere. Like fuck it. Like this is the way I'm gonna write and say what I want to say.
Yeah, like throwing words on a page and see where it sticks.
Yeah, like I've never liked poetry with rules. Even though like when you take English classes, they're like, this is this type of poetry.
I know, my creative writing class. Yeah.
Exactly. I didn't take my creative writing classes and my English courses throughout college and high school. Like, yeah, it's cool. There's things to appreciate about the structure of certain type of poetry, but sometimes I fucking love just chilling out with words. Like, I think Gabby is also very much like that. Like, Gabby's much more in, like, just making words. Like, if, like, we made up these rules, we can add to that. We can add, and, like, I don't know. I think it's interesting. That was my little rant on the English language. We speak English, but they speak a different type of English, obviously UK English, but, like, just to know that languages, like, they can derive from, like, why isn't there one language that's just a mesh of all the languages put together? Like, like, if we can take different
Gibberish, yeah,
like Spanish. Like, Gabby speaks Spanish, I speak Spanish, but when we speak to each other, we got some different words going on, and I'm like, yo, Gabby, what the fuck does that mean? And Gabby's like, oh, it means this, and I'm like, oh, I was like,
that's what I speak like almost like a dialect of Spanish. Yeah. So I guess that's what dialects are.
Yeah, and also like I speak Spanish too, so it's like my Spanish is so different from a Dominican's like Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. Like their language is so different. Same goes for like I don't know, like other Southern American countries, and the Spaniards speak different types of Spanish. So like, why isn't there one language? If there could be so many languages derived from one source, why isn't there one language that's just a mesh of all of them put together? Not just Spanish, but like the best of all of it. I guess the best example I can find is like the Philippines.
I think the best example I could find, which is almost working backwards, is Latin, because that's the root. Do you understand? So it's not like it's adding all the languages together. It's almost putting it to the most simple form of language and just having those root and all different languages. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that too. I really like that. Yeah, the root. I'm thinking more like out there, like get it all put into one.
Yeah, like adding it all together.
Like I'm here, you're here, like.
Yeah, I'm like finding the most common denominator, and you're like add infinity together and see what you get. That's I feel like you're like literally add all the languages together. I'm like, Anna, bro, do you even know how many languages there are that we don't even know are?
It'd be cool, like a mesh. Not you can't incorporate every single part of the language, but like take like meshes of it. Like that's why I said the best example of it would be the Philippines. Their language, they speak like pan is the same as Spanish, like bread. It's the same thing in the Philippines.
Yeah, I say pa.
Yeah, and so like the Philippines, because they were colonized by the Spanish, but they're I think they're in Asia, so like it like merges cool stuff together, and I think that's what I really like about that language.
I feel that,
like being able to kind of connect to various parts of the world. I think it's interesting.
Well, we're actually really lucky that we didn't have to learn Spanish through all this imperfect verb, blah, 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 grammar, blah. We learned it through the ear and through understanding and through communicating.
I also learned it through the grammar thing.
Well, yeah, I pulled up to 6th grade like, oh, yeah, I speak Spanish. And then I pull up, I'm like, wait, this is not what I've been speaking every year of my life, my grandparents and, like, my friends in Spain. What is this? So I had to learn it through that. You know what I mean? Like, people would be like, how do you know this? And it just would sound right to you, right? Like, yes, you would learn it, but then sometimes, like, what is it? I said, he said, right? I said, he said. You have to know, like, which verb goes because it could be similar. And things just sound right to me. So I would put it down with no logic of me just being like, it sounds better.
Yeah. I like, fun fact, I wanted to be a linguist when I was in high school. I wanted to like study linguistics in college. And so in high school, I just started taking mad languages. And I pulled up to a Spanish class. I was like, oh, I take Spanish. Like, why not? Let me take like an honors level Spanish class. Like, I could pass the test. You know what I mean? Because I spoke Spanish, you know, and I could hear it. I've been reading it. I've never written it really well, but I could read it. So from there, I could get a lot of the context. And I pull up again, note like everything was thrown out the window. They were doing like pretenses, like presentations only in the subjunctive. And I was like, what? This honors level too. So these kids were like, we're so like, I know what I'm doing. Like, this is it. And I was just like, I'm the native speaker doing the worst in this entire class. Like,
yeah.